The veterans of the Natural Guard await their chance to serve. It's in their bones. It's time to enact our right to natural security. Build a team of teams in your bioregion. Create a council with your indigenous elders. Prepare for your ancestors to come home. Know thyself. Love all. Serve all. Aho.
This is Colonel Jim Shannon from the 1st Earth Battalion, and we're in our new Earth Army Planning Center. It's been our job for many years to provide advanced ideas in combinations for selected military audiences so they could make their move on taking care of the planet Earth when the time came. So what's the latest from what happened at Standing Rock? Well, we have some intelligence on that and also a contingency plan for that to optimize itself. So what I've done here on this map, which I intend to turn into a plan, is indicate we have now mobilized the veterans in this country and many others, since we're in touch with most all the countries, and they have various ways they collect themselves, whether they're in clubs, from foreign wars clubs to other veterans organizations, to just big friendships. This is our target audience for the moment, and what we also have after Standing Rock is we have various groups of people in villages and towns everywhere in this country and others who are sympathetic with what the veterans did, and they know that natural security is where we're going. We got to take care of the planet and the biosphere next, for sure. But the connection between these groups and the veterans groups probably is not very clear. They probably don't realize that right down the road there's a building with veterans that meet once a week or maybe every day, depending on the type of club it is or facility. And those veterans are all now in some esteem. And those veterans know other veterans that are just outside town, and they could be mobilized quite quickly. So if these interested citizens who know something about how they would like for their little bioregion to get together, make contact with the veterans associations, the team can start to build. And from that, we can move to a place where we look at how this operation could turn into a compound, very much like was created at Standing Rock. And after Standing Rock, we realized needed to be way bigger, way more sanitary, and most of the people spent most of the time keeping themselves out of the weather. So if this idea can be created in more clarity, and the people to do that, by the way, are the Army sustainment battalions and the Navy Seabees, for example, plus civil engineers everywhere. So this particular bioregion can start to look at a meeting and coordination place for other veterans to come to help and for the school kids to get involved to begin to take care of the rest of their world out there. And we assume that that's going to take some time to get the correct intelligence. So we've discovered that in addition to the veterans, there is an indigenous network of elders and others who are available now to come and support certain operations that require protection. We discover also that in our future, we can ask the FEMA people to turn over the vehicles and tool sets that they're created for the so-called homeland. And we also realize that this whole notion over here is an envelope of intelligence called natural security. which is in fact the mandate, requirement, baseline for taking care of our lands wherever they are, with the waters, minerals, etc. This type of intelligence is one where we invite the ancestors. And by the way, can you imagine a conscious outer space system that's not going to send back the very same people to reunion with us who were part of this earth at some time before? They're not aliens, they're ancestors. They're ancestors plus. And so we have to prepare a spaceport, just in notional terms, for them to be able to operate with us. And that spaceport may eventually become the sort of final expo for the bioregion, which might actually be a ship they've already created, to show what the new combination of technology and culture we need. And from this side of the intelligence, we're looking at cultural intelligence, which in this case, the indigenous folks have a big role to play. And we all have a role to play now that we're part of the webocracy. So here, a very, very, very critical thing has to happen from the combination of the veterans people, the indigenous people, the local geologists, the local natural scientists, and the others which are recommended in the earthbattalion.com website, including police, paramedics, firemen, all those federal servants, like the U.S. Marshals, and from the festival cultures where our young people are, the spark plugs to bring to this new community the fire and power and celebration that they need. So this is the council. Forever after this sequence to manage this kind of set of operations. So again, the primary deal here is to, first of all, make connection between the interested citizens and the veterans. To see the potential, they have to start to get to work on a base camp. And the base camp can include occasionally youth and whatnot, so they can start certain operations, recovery operations on their own biosphere, with the help of the FEMA toys. I mean that if you notice those railroad cars that went west during a recent operation, Jade Helm, they had everything. They had troop carriers. They had all of the heavy lifting trucks, engineering tools. It was a whole set, and they belonged to us, all of us, including some of those wonderful big estate buildings they built, but for obviously maybe different reasons. So we're looking at a situation where we need to make a disconnection for citizens to veterans to council, then prepare for the veterans to have a place to work, to get started, and ask for some federal support. The president said he wants to support both veterans and the red states. Well, here we are. And we look at, expecting our own indigenous people and the ancestors that may come to return for a visit pretty soon. Collectively speaking, it's hard to get started without a plan, and this is a plan. Pass it to all the people you know in your community so all of the regional, bioregional communities can start to get working on the planet. Simple as that. Jim Channon, Go Planet.